A son looks his father in the eye and says, "I want your money, not you, just your money." And the father gives it to him. No argument, no conditions, no anger. This is either the most beautiful story ever told, or the most dangerous idea in human history. And by the end of this video, you're going to have to decide which one it is for you. Picture this carefully. A wealthy landowner, respected, established. A family name that carries weight in the village. 2 sons, one stable, one restless. You can usually tell which one is going to explode. The younger one walks up to his father one day and says something culturally outrageous. "Father, give me my share of the estate." That sentence does not sound violent to modern ears, but in that world, it is brutal. Inheritance is distributed after death. So what he is really saying is, "I want your things. I just do not want you." He is separating relationship from resources. And here is where the story starts to feel uncomfortable. The father says yes, no shouting, no public shaming, no dramatic disowning. He divides the property, which means selling land, breaking up assets, disrupting generational wealth. The entire village would have known. People would whisper, "Did you hear what that boy did to his father?" And yet the father absorbs the humiliation quietly. Why? Because love that controls is not love. So the son leaves. And he does not leave modestly. He sets off for a distant country. Not just geographically distant, morally distant, culturally distant. Everything opposite of home. He wants autonomy, freedom without limits, pleasure without consequences. And for a while, it works. Money attracts people. Noise feels like connection. Parties feel like purpose. He is finally living on his own terms, until the money runs out. And here is where reality does not just knock. It kicks the door down. A famine hits, and suddenly the friends disappear, because relationships built on consumption do not survive scarcity. He looks for work, any work. He ends up feeding pigs. Now let that sit for a moment. For a Jewish audience, pigs were ritually unclean animals. This is not just poverty. This is degradation. He is feeding animals he was raised to avoid. And the detail that cuts deepest, he longed to eat the pods the pigs were eating. He is jealous of livestock. That is how far he has fallen. But here is the part we romanticize. It says he came to his senses. We imagine a soft spiritual awakening, a quiet moment of clarity. But read carefully. He calculates. How many of my father's hired servants have food to spare, and here I'm starving to death? This is strategy, not poetry. He drafts a speech. I have sinned against heaven and against you. I am no longer worthy to be called your son. Make me like one of your hired servants. Notice something. He is not running home out of love. He is running home out of desperation. He plans to negotiate his way back in, not as a son, as staff, because he believes he has lost the right to belong. And if we are honest, most of us understand that feeling deeply, the sense that we have gone too far, done too much, that the door back is closed. So he starts walking home, dirty, hungry, rehearsing that speech over and over in his head. Now pause here, because what happens next is what makes this story genuinely disruptive. The father sees him from a distance, which means he has been watching, waiting, looking down that road more often than he admits. And when he sees that familiar silhouette, he runs. Men of dignity did not run in that culture. Running meant lifting your robe, exposing your legs, looking undignified in front of the entire village. But he does not care. He does not wait for the apology first. He does not demand repayment. He interrupts the speech halfway through, before the son can even finish negotiating. Quick, bring the best robe, not a spare robe, the best one, likely his own. Put a ring on his finger, a signet ring, authority, identity, belonging. Put sandals on his feet. Servants went barefoot. Sons wore sandals. This is not probation. This is full restoration. And then he says the line that offends human logic. Kill the fattened calf. Let us celebrate. That calf was reserved for major events, weddings, village-wide gatherings. He is throwing a public party for the son who publicly disgraced him. And this is where the older brother enters, coming back from the fields, sweaty, consistent, responsible. He hears music, laughter, celebration, and when he finds out what is happening, he refuses to go inside. That refusal is heavy. He is not just angry, he is wounded. He confronts his father. All these years I have been slaving for you. Slaving. Did you catch that word? He does not see himself as a son. He sees himself as an employee. I never disobeyed your orders. There is pride in that sentence, and exhaustion. And you never gave me even a young goat so I could celebrate with my friends. Not with you, Father, with my friends. There is distance in those words too, a different kind of distance, but the same disconnection. Then he says, when this son of yours comes back, not my brother, this son of yours, he disowns him emotionally in a single sentence. And if we are being honest with ourselves, this is the part that feels most relatable, because radical mercy feels beautiful when it benefits us, but infuriating when it benefits someone we think does not deserve it. The father responds softly, my son, you're always with me, and everything I have is yours. Translation: you never lacked access. You lacked understanding. You obeyed me, but you never truly knew my heart. And that is the twist nobody talks about. The younger son was lost geographically. The older son was lost relationally. One rebelled outwardly. One rebelled inwardly. One ran away from home. One stayed home and became a stranger in it. And here is where the story does something unusual. It ends without resolution. We never find out if the older brother walks inside. The story just stops, which means the ending lands on us. Will he step into the celebration, or will he cling to his sense of fairness? Because this parable is not really about reckless rebellion. It is about offensive grace, grace that does not consult merit, grace that absorbs cost without demanding repayment, grace that restores the undeserving publicly and without apology. The father lost wealth, lost dignity, lost reputation in front of his entire community, and still chose restoration over retribution. That is why the story unsettles us even today, because deep down most of us believe justice means balance, debt paid, wrong punished, order restored. But this father obliterates that logic entirely. He chooses relationship over record keeping, celebration over calculation, and that feels dangerous, because if grace is that free, then none of us can control who receives it. So the real question is not why the younger son ran. It is not even whether he deserved to come back. The real question is this: why does mercy bother us so much when it is given to someone else? Somewhere between the pigsty and the party, between resentment and restoration, between the road and the door, we find ourselves. So I want to ask you something directly. Which brother are you right now? Are you the one who ran and is not sure you can come back? Or are you the one who stayed and quietly resents everyone who left and got welcomed anyway? Drop it in the comments. Be honest, because I think we are more truthful in comment sections than we are anywhere else in our lives. And if this video made you think differently about grace, mercy, or even just human nature, share it with one person who needs to hear it, because some stories are too important to keep to yourself.